So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the American kind of takes on the recent Northern Ireland Protocol legislation. So you've got a tweet here from certain senior American politicians. You've got Congressman Bill Keating. You've obviously Richard Neal, Brendan Boyle, and Brian Fitz. Obviously Richard Neal, the one in charge of the Ways and Means Committee, someone we've spoken about a lot. And there's a joint statement here saying the introduction of the legislation in the United Kingdom undermines the Northern Ireland Protocol, threatens international law, and most concerningly could jeopardise the almost 25 years of peace and stability established by the Good Friday Agreement. The protocol is a negotiated solution ratified by UK lawmakers and signed by Boris Johnson to ensure an open border on the island of Ireland and to protect peace and security following Brexit. We encourage the UK and EU to continue negotiating in good faith to achieve durable solutions to post-Brexit trade challenges. So the first part there, very straightforward, which is the United Kingdom is undermining the Northern Ireland Protocol. This threatens international law and could jeopardise the Good Friday Agreement. Really clear in that first paragraph. As members of the United States Congress, we remain committed to protecting and upholding the important legacy of the Good Friday Agreement. We have and will continue to signal to the United Kingdom our support for a negotiated outcome with the EU. The people of Northern Ireland are counting on their elected officials to govern and maintain peace and stability in the region. Now is the time to deliver. So really clear statement from these politicians. You even had Chuck Schumer intervening as well. Chuck Schumer saying the new legislation is unwelcome and unjustified. And recently, the recently proposed legislation to unilaterally undermine the already negotiated and agreed upon Northern Irish Protocol. The proposed amnesty legislation would severely undermine both the system of engagement and institutions of justice set forward in the Good Friday Agreement and the Stormont House Agreement, which gave victims access to pursue truth and justice. So this is about the kind of legislation they tried to push around amnesty for British soldiers, I believe. Schumer saying, I sincerely hope it will not gain support because it would serve to derail truth, reconciliation and justice for so many victims and would not help the ongoing intent of the Good Friday Agreement to promote and preserve peace, mutual respect and shared prosperity. On the matter of the protocol, I urge our friends in the United Kingdom to pursue a path of good faith negotiation to resolve differences rather than destabilising unilateral action that would undermine an already negotiated international agreement. He goes on to say, as I've said many times, a return to a hard border is not acceptable, and that would, straight up violate the Good Friday Agreement. Nor is it wise. Who have benefited? So you're talking about the people of Northern Ireland, and also in Ireland, who have benefited mightily from the changed policies that were birthed after the Good Friday Agreement. Because again, I urge a path of engagement and negotiation to met out differences in a way that preserves the peace, stability and shared progress fostered by the Good Friday Agreement. So he's made some very clear statements here that they don't agree with what the UK are doing with respect to the amnesty around British soldiers and also the changes to the protocol. So that's Chuck Schumer, that's a senior Democrat, a guy domestically who's really not great, but in this situation he's doing an admirable job. And then you've got a letter was sent to Andrew Blinken, who is part of Joe Biden's top team, he's the Secretary of State, contending that the letter, there's an ad hoc committee. It's not made by current politicians, these are former ones, and diplomats, contending that the proposed Legacy and Reconciliation Bill put forward by Boris Johnson violates the Good Friday Agreement and is another example of Britain willfully violating international law, in this case the European Court of Human Rights. The committee, bipartisan to its membership, said in an accompanying statement that for all the intents and purposes the British government is turning its backs on victims and survivors, cutting off their access to courts. The letter urges Biden to use all possibly diplomatic channels to oppose this potential violation of the Good Friday Agreement. So you can see clearly here that the Americans are not happy with what we're doing regarding the protocol and also the bill, the Legacy and Reconciliation Bill. Very clear that the Americans are unhappy on two counts here and are very much accusing us of breaking the Good Friday Agreement. So we'll see what happens. Andrew Blinken hasn't said anything regarding this as far as I'm aware. So we'll keep an eye out for that. With the other stuff though, it's clear Chuck Schumer's position on this. It's also clear what the positions are of Richard Neal, Brendan Boyle and Brian Fitz, along with Bill Keating, that they're very much against what the UK are doing. And we must not forget that there is bipartisan support for the protocol. that's a big problem. Joe Biden's been very quiet. I think he's just hiding because there are a lot of problems in America right now that he's struggling to deal with. But I think his support for the protocol is fairly clear, so we'll keep an eye out for that if they make any statements coming over soon. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.